Welcome and thank you for joining us for the Employment and Labor Market presentation brought to you by O2O, Orientation to Ontario Project. My name is Ingrid and I'm going to be your presenter for today. This is a two-part series. We'll do part one, where we're just going to talk about the labor market and some of the resources that we have for under the O2O project. Now, labor market information can be a little bit overwhelming and confusing. So learning about it will actually help you to use it to find jobs and get information on education and various different kinds of information. So on our agenda, we'll talk about labor market, we'll talk about unregulated professions and the orientation to Ontario resources that I referred to earlier. The labor market is actually a Canadian term that is used to explain information relating to topics like education and training and the need for these specific jobs and professions. The labor market also addresses the types of jobs and skills employers are looking for, job prospects based on industries, and you'll also find information on statistics and trends. So truly, looking at the labor market information before you move to Canada could actually help you to make informed decisions. So decisions on the types of jobs that you're going to be looking for when you arrive in Canada, or what cities do you want to live in as it relates to where you will find jobs. Now, we'll talk to you about where you can find information on the LMI, or Labor Market Information, Employment and Social Development Canada, Statistics Canada, and the Ministry of Advanced Education and Skills are three of the websites that you may go on. Employment and Social Development Canada is a department of government that is responsible for social programs and labor market information at the federal level. Statistics Canada produces statistics that will help you to understand the country's population, the resources, and even culture. The Ministry of Advanced Education and Skills Development is the ministry of the government of Ontario that's responsible for making the laws that are relating to post-secondary education and skills training. Here, you'll also find information on the labor market. Now, you may be looking for a job when you arrive here in Canada. How do you actually apply for a job? Well, social insurance number is actually quite critical. Your resume and cover letter and references are also part of that process. So your social insurance number would be the number that is provided to you by the Canadian government. It is given to those who are either permanent residents of Canada or citizens. If you have a work permit or a study permit, you may also have a social insurance number. Your resume and cover letter should actually be of the Canadian standard. That will help you to get your feet in the door a little bit faster. And your references would be from past employers. Many employers often will require you to have references, and they may not necessarily hire you until you can produce these references. So that's a critical part of how you get into the job market. Settlement.org is for community services that are offered in specific areas and different cities. So the link right there will take you to that website. It is good to know, where you can find jobs in the various industries that are actually strong in certain particular the industries where you will be able to find work in particular fields. Now, here we're looking at, for example, the different regions. So you're looking at mining, which is strongest in Northern Ontario. The tech industry would be Waterloo, the Waterloo area. Agriculture is in the southwestern part, and finance you would find in Toronto. So definitely, this is how the labor market information can be helpful in terms of the types of jobs that you may be looking for. Let's take a look at professions. Some professions and trades in Ontario may be regulated or they could be unregulated as well. The trades and professions that are regulated by provincial professional regulatory bodies do require a license. So we're going to take a look at those. And you should have a plan of action upon arrival in Canada. You should access the settlement plan that we have on our website. You can do that at O2O at settlement.org. And that will also help you to prepare for your arrival in terms of the kind of profession that you're in and what you do need in order for you to get into it as soon as you get here. Now, when you look at the regulated professions, the first step to have is to have your credentials assessed if you are someone who is in a regulated profession. The process can sometimes be a little bit time consuming. So we have known some professionals who will they will take on a survival job as they try to get back into their field of study. So again, you should begin with your credential assessment. Check with the Canadian Information Centre for International Credentials, for short, CICIC, to learn about the necessary credentials for your particular occupation. You can also contact the regulatory body for your profession and get the correct information on how to get the credentials assessed. Explore the job market for your occupation or skill and learn more about how it works. There's also sometimes training that is required. You may also want to check into that as well. So again, there are some professions that are regulated. If you are from a regulated profession, it means that you will definitely need to get perhaps a license, or there's some documentation that is required for you to get from your particular regulatory body. So these are all things that you should be very keen on as you prepare for the journey to Canada, or if you are already here, these are all things that you need to be taking care of if you want to get back into your field. For those who are in unregulated professions, the non-regulated professions are a little bit more flexible, and chances are you don't have to wait to have your credentials evaluated or upgraded. Therefore, you can begin looking for work in your chosen field right away. There's sometimes a little bit of a challenge in the non-regulated profession, uh, simply because of the fact that you know, the field will be a little bit more competitive because you don't need a license. You can actually begin working right away. Experience and personal characteristics actually play a very important role in hiring, and employers often have more confidence in applicants with Canadian experience. So getting Canadian experience is sometimes a little bit difficult, but that's something that you can work with. Settlement agencies can actually help you with this. So we'll talk a little bit more about the settlement agencies that you can contact. You can do so through www.settlement.org, where you'll find quite a bit of information on how to get those things in place. Now, bridging programs are quite popular here in Ontario. And you may be wondering, what is a bridging program? A bridging program is a training program that helps qualified internationally trained newcomers move quickly into the labor market in Ontario. The programs are used to assess your existing skills compared to Ontario employer expectation. They provide training and Canadian workplace experience without duplicating what you already had learned from your home country. And in some cases, newcomers are required to study for an additional 4 years when they arrive in Canada. So if you are able to take advantage of a bridging program, you may be only required to study for 1 year as opposed to 4 years. Each bridge training program is different. So that's something that you should keep in mind. An assessment of your current education and skills are some of the things that you should expect from the bridging program. Clinical or workplace experience, skills training or targeted academic training programs, preparation for a license or certification examination. Language training for your profession or trade is also something that you should expect under these bridging programs. Please do visit www.ontarioimmigration.ca in order to find out more information on the bridging programs. Now, let's talk to you about the O2O, or the Orientation to Ontario Resources. We do have a website. You can visit us at www.settlement.org/O2O. On our website, we have things like a workbook, fact sheets. There's some group workshops that you can also register for. These group workshops are available to you if you are here in Canada. And then we have the settlement organizer. There's an online checklist, and there are also live and recorded webinars, or live YouTube videos that you can actually watch. You can recorded YouTube videos, I'm sorry, that you can watch in the comfort of your own home. And if you'd like to get the longer version, you're able to access that through our recorded webinars that are either posted on our website, or you can email us and you'll be able to access that. The Orientation to Ontario project is funded by Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada and the Ministry of Citizenship and Immigration. Costi Immigrant Services is a community-based multicultural agency, and we are the coordinating agency of the Orientation to Ontario project. We service over 39,000 clients annually from our 17 locations in the Greater Toronto Area. Now, the O2O project was actually designed to help newcomers settle in Ontario and to basically help them make more informed decisions and choices regarding their the settlement process. So we would love it if you could visit our website or join us in a live webinar. Thank you so much for viewing our video today, and I hope you'll have a great day. Thank you. Hope to see you at our other live videos, live webinars, when we actually have them posted on our website. You can access them through our website whenever you're ready. Okay, thank you. And quickly before I go, I'd like to show you, just so that if you'd like to connect with us at any time after you have seen this video, you can visit us you can send us an email at o2o@costi.org, or you may call us at 1-855-626-0002. Thanks again for joining me.